guys, welcome back to the What's Up Eddie channel, Divine Therapy Sessions, and of course, the one and only Eddie. So glad to have you guys back, and these are my Divine Therapy Sessions. Hey guys, I know I said that I wouldn't make any more videos, but I guess I lied. I just had some amazing downloads. I just woke up, as you can tell, and it couldn't wait. I totally had to get this information out as it was fresh in my mind. And what I mean by downloads, you guys, inkling, those ideas, fresh new epiphanies, right? And what they are is, in my opinion, it's like these new fresh ideas of how we're supposed to live our life. It's not how you're supposed to, but it's, I would say, like a fresh take on how you can approach life, right? So I haven't been able to put it into words where I can make another person understand, right? And I always like to say spirituality or spiritual, and a lot of the times people don't understand what that means, right? Like we have these preconceived notions or preconceived ideas as to what that really, means to us. But where does that information come from? You know what I mean? I think a lot of the times we come from a place of bias, right? Like I'm biased because of my religious background, because of the makeup that I've had. My experiences dictate how I'm going to approach the world, right? So me being in the army, me dealing with prejudiced people within my childhood, dealing with abusive parents, dealing with neglect and abandonment, I have a distorted, twisted view sometimes on things, right? Also, I have real life experience, which taught me that, I had to overcome adversity, so it has made me a stronger individual. It also has taught me how to survive, right? Like you put me out in the wilderness, I'm going to survive. There's no doubt. But survival isn't fit to live in community. And what I mean by that is when you are just living a peaceful, normal life, it's very difficult to adapt because you're not used to it. Survival isn't living. Survival is survival. It's two different things. You guys, I had these huge downloads, and I was watching the movie Giver. If you are having a spiritual awakening, you need to watch The Giver. I'm telling you. I watched it 3 times before, but I never had the epiphanies that I had today. And the reason why I'm telling you is because it's telling you, in the movie, there's so many trinkets of information. But one of the things that activated this whole new thought process, I believe, you guys, that we already have the knowledge and the base for knowledge deep within us. Even if you forgot who you are or what you are or where you are or why you are, it's deep within your heart space. Right here. It's deep within your mind space, because your body is just a vessel. It's temporary, right? You have to give it back. But what's not temporary is your infinite soul, your consciousness. And what I mean by that is that when you die, right? When you pass, where does the soul, the consciousness go? We have to report to something, right? We as people we're only throwing rocks in the dark when we talk about religion, when we talk about what's on the other side. You and I don't know, right? But what I tell you is this: deep down inside, we do know. We know that there's this calling. What is that calling that we have towards worship of a higher being, of another world, of other worlds, right? Different consciousness. There's knowledge that I've obtained that don't come from books. They come from experience, previous life experiences. And this happens like in that movie, The Giver, where if you've seen the movie, for those out there who have seen it, but if you haven't, watch it because it's really good. They're showing you a physical practical exercise of what happens to someone who's spiritually awakening. Now, I'll say it like this. There was this key moment where the older gentleman was teaching the younger gentleman. So he's like more of like a mentor, right? And so he's transferring memories of a previous life because they live in a habitat in which everything has been taken away. So everything is the same. You and I live in the same environment. We only have been trained to think that this is normal, which is not. What we live in everyday life, we are programmed, easily programmed. And we don't even think that we are. That's the issue. When you have a spiritual awakening, and this is the why I wanted to bring up the subject, is you can get into a place, even in spirituality, where it's classified, where we are in distinct groups, in distinct communities, and we separate ourselves from the message that we're supposed to convey to other people. We're not supposed to ostracize other people. We're not supposed to make this place, it's not supposed to be a club, right? Spirituality is meant for everyone, and that's our mission as light workers, right? That's just a classification again. A light worker, whatever you deem necessary, right? Like, this is a spiritual awakening. You'll start to realize that you're a light worker, you're a humanitarian, you're an activist, you're multifaceted. All those labels are just labels at the end of the day. They're not your true essence. They're not who you are. They make up a tiny iota fraction of what you truly are. You're limitless. You are a deity. You are a god. And all those are just words explaining a very rudimentary way of telling you that you're an infinite being. Your divine self is beyond human comprehension. But so getting to the lesson that this guy was teaching him, is that he was saying that there's a difference between actuality and feelings, right? And that attests to what I'm trying to tell you. Your feelings aren't a good gauge on your life at all. I've taught this on many lessons and many videos, but your feelings can be skewed, right? Like, my perception of the world can be skewed, or my perception of religion can be skewed. And there's major healing that needs to take place because, why? Because of my previous experiences, right? They've tainted it. And so the only true thing that I know is that I really don't know. That sounds crazy, right? I know it does. But what I'm trying to say is this, is that the only true thing that I know exists is love at the end of the day. It is the highest vibration. And when you have love in your life and in your heart, all that other stuff doesn't matter. It goes back to love. You can crush an argument with love. You can literally bring joy to someone's life with love, with compassion, right? There's many different, I would say, subcategories to what love is. It just depends on how you're approaching it. But when you approach yourself with a true sense of love, which I haven't even got there, but I know the information because the information came from higher up, above, something of a distant. And you're probably asking yourself, well, where are you getting it from? You don't have to know where it's coming from. You just know that it is. Trust it. Trust that information. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to tell another person, even if it sounds weird or looks weird. The information that's coming out of my mouth right now, telling you, I'm activating you on a soul level. It's like, so like the physical explanation of the guy giving the kid the memories, I'm getting those memories from, whether that be God or, the spiritual realm or the angels, however you want to call it, right? They're all just words at the end of the day. While I'm waking up, I'm waking you up. Even if you can't consciously think of it, like, okay, so like, you got to think about it in the way that the mind works. So if I give you information that you actually can't comprehend, your subconscious can comprehend it. And I planted the seed that needs to be there, that will activate at the right time. I'm introducing you to the idea of the world, right? So you and I think this is what I wanted to say too, is like, you and I are in a place right now where so that's why I'm saying spiritual no man's land. And I've tried to explain this before, but I'm getting the information that I need now. So You can find yourself in a place where, like, when you have a spiritual awakening, you start seeing the world differently, right? It's the same as the story of the giver. You look at the world in a way now that's different from the previous. So now you feel different from regular people, right? The normal, the people in the matrix, as they say. You know, it's real easy to get caught up in, I'm a spiritual person, or I am chosen. Yeah, you're chosen, but you're not chosen to be distant from regular people. Your actual mission is of the highest of God, right? And so if it is from the highest, it's telling you that your mission is to enlighten other people. It's not meant to keep a secrecy as a secret to yourself. It's meant for you to disperse it to the world. Now, that being said, that is our mission. And your mission is to shine brightly for the rest of the world to see. Whether that would be art, communication, making products that are eco-friendly, enlighten people in any way that your creative, limitless soul can do, right? Now, where was I? Okay, so I've been caught in a place where I couldn't quite explain what it was. This spiritual no man's land is a place where you're not really doing your mission because you're caught in all these labels and categories of, like, oh, like, the rest of people don't understand me. I'm in a place where and I know there's someone out here that's going through the same thing, right? Where I don't fit in with normal people that are, like, in the matrix thinking, and I don't fit in with being grouped as, like, a spiritualist, or because I sometimes I'm not even like most spiritual people, because they don't like, so a lot of the times you'll hear a spiritual person say that religion is still in the matrix, which it can be. I believe it can be, but I do believe in that there is a higher, whether that be Ra, God, Yahweh, the Tetragrammaton, depending on where you're coming from, right? Whatever lessons you're being taught, there's, I think that we're losing ourselves when we come from a place of, we lose the essence of what we're trying to do when we start making ourselves different from everybody else, because we're not. That knowledge isn't meant for us to ostracize or judge or hurt other people. And that spiritual no man's land is actually a place where you're still caught in the matrix, where you're still wounded. And that's why I felt like I was like, I don't know where I fit in. And that's the point too. As a leader, as a spiritual leader, you're meant to put your work out there in a way that people don't understand sometimes. And that's where I was coming from too, is because I'm not talking like a lot of people. And sometimes people are like, my information just goes right over people's head. And I hate that. I hate that people don't understand it. And it's like, I'm trying to figure out a way to talk to people. It's like someone if you're super intelligent, not saying that people are dumb and I'm intelligent. No. What I'm saying is have you ever met a really intelligent person and they're talking to you and you just don't know what they're talking about? It's because they have a different intellect. But you have to know who. So it's like, I always tell someone who's super intelligent, man, you need to talk on my level. Otherwise, we're not communicating. And that's information for leaders out there. You need to remember that your level of knowledge, your wisdom, is so supreme that you have to bring it to a level where other people understand it. Otherwise, you're coming off as someone who's either show off and know it all, and it's like and people just don't want to hear it like that, right? I've noticed where, like, if I can bring it down to practical matters, it just works so much better, And I think that's where I'm learning as a leader. It's like, you need to know your audience, right? And getting crude lessons in that. But I just want to say, there's so much hope, for other people out there that's going through the same thing, that just keep doing what it is that you're being asked to do. However you're receiving your information, you could be receiving it through clairaudience, clairsentient, whether it's knowing without knowing, you're getting downloads, you're actually hearing the divine, which I do, or you're getting it in your dreams, angel numbers. There's so many different ways that we receive it, right? Tarot. There's many divination, and there's many different ways that God speaks to us, right? But I'm just telling you, listen to the information that's given to you and apply it to your life. If you're getting angel numbers, I look up 1,000 angel numbers a day, you guys. If that's because there's a different language. If there's a different language, you have to understand what the language is, right? And you're probably asking yourself, well, who has the time to do that? You have the time. I go to work and I still write down my angel numbers, and I'll look at it. I'll spend an hour looking up angel numbers, and after a while you start to memorize it. And you start to memorize it, the moment you see the number the next day, you know what they're trying to tell you. Apply the information given to you, and it will direct you in your life. It's a secret language, right? I know you know what I'm talking about, but don't be lazy. Be consistent. Get up, pray, eat well, sleep well, get sun, put your feet in the sand, ground your energy, love other people, even if they're shitty, even if they're mean. Go apologize to them, even if you don't want to. Because if you hold on to that hatred, if you hold on to the resentment, which they want, because they want you to feel bad like they feel bad, let it go. You need to let go of the pain. If you let go of the pain, which is blocking you in your blessings, what's blocking you is hatred, pain, fear, anxiety, stress. All that stuff comes from a place of fear. The lowest vibration is fear, right? And if you're in fear, you cannot receive. You need to get yourself in a place of where you'll be able to receive. And I'm telling you, magic begins to happen in your life. I don't mean in a literal sense. I mean in like more of like a figurative way, where you'll be able to approach the world within your purpose, why you're here on earth. Because every single one of us was placed on this planet to do something. It's up to you to figure it out. But you can't figure it out until you clear and cleanse yourself of the negativity and the old programming. I love you guys so much. I hope and I know that you guys caught something. I love you guys. I love my audience out there. I know my last video was a little, it happens, we come from, or I get into these moods where like, I feel like I'm not getting places, but I think that's when those lessons really need to be got. Like, I feel like God or the divine is teaching me something. So don't give up. Keep going. Keep putting your content out there. Even if people aren't listening, at some point someone's going to listen. Because what you're saying is reality, right? It's something new. It's just because people aren't used to it yet. I love you guys so much. You are an infinite, loving, spiritual being. Love is the highest vibration, so spread it as much as you can. It's contagious. You guys make sure to subscribe, give me a thumbs up. I'll catch you guys in the next one.